Hi everybody, I made an update. It's only 3 things. Number 1, when you view a replay, let's say you just fast forward to the end, it's probably best that you do that if you want to use it easiest. And then click on this, or you can click on this. Either one will bring you to this menu here, which most of us know at this point. You go to resources. This is of course a single player replay. Before it just showed the graph, but now you can see the exact numbers. And another thing is, maybe you notice this, like when I click on any one of these, it's not there. So this is only for resources. Clicking back on here, if you scroll, like right here you see 59, it goes to 45. So basically the game records current resource quantities every 15 seconds. So I have it that when you use the scroll on your mouse, which I'm doing right now, it's going to change by 15 seconds. The same as if when you click on these. If you hold down shift while you click on these, it's going to change by 10 minutes. Just so that it can be more feasible. And as you notice here, the graph is changing as I change the time. If you scroll very quickly, it's also going to change by 10 minutes. Otherwise, it will be 15 seconds for a soft or slow scroll. And then when you go to more statistics, even if you've played a single player game, you can come here and click on resources. See how you did compared to the other players. In this case, it's AI players. And with this one, you have quantity or GDP, players or by teams. So let me first go to, let's say, food. If you go to GDP, it's only these 3 here. Basically what GDP is, it's the total amounts that you have with quantity multiplied by the market value. There's a certain decimal, but it's more than a decimal. It's like a number and some decimal. And then it rounds it off. So if you're interested in that, that's really all it is. It's going to be more than these. Like if you see here, right, it's like the red me is under 1,000, but I come here and now it's close to 1,500. But this one by teams, we can see the total, and this is GDP, which is not very interesting. Let me go back to quantity. For corn, I hover over team 1 and 1895 or 3020. So quantity by players, by teams, it all works. Up here, it works the same way as the other one, the single player stats menu worked. Yeah, but it's cool to see this. Hold down shift and click this and we go to times 0. Then you can see the resources appear in real time, which can with the replay, but it's not this user friendly or this fast or whatever. You can see the sequence of resources that I made, right? So there you go. Another thing I want to mention about this though is maybe unexpected for some people, but with my multiplayer trainer that I told you about in the previous video, in this particular map, Cube, these 2 players happen to be the same color. For a very long time, maybe since the beginning, KaM Remake has been programmed to merge these 2 players as one in the game stats menu. So if I go here and I see that player is this one, you can see that if I go to more statistics and then go to resources, one is considerably more than the rest of them. So if I go to corn, for example, 178 versus 114. Loaves is 122 versus 50 or 60 or so for the rest of the players. And you can see here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. But this is a 12 player map. But I fixed it though. Actually what I did in this map that you're looking at right now in this replay, I made them allies. So it's going to merge them only if they're friends. And this is only for AI players, not for you. I've heard that it's not possible for 2 players to choose the same color in multiplayer. Not positive, but that's what I've heard. But if you're human players, it's not going to merge you anyway. I pull up this other replay. They're enemies now, and they are separate because they are enemies. Before though, it didn't matter if they were friends or enemies. They would merge them into one. And to me, it's just, that's not good. Now you can count 12 players. Okay, another thing I changed, which I show in the user manual, I have a new page for it, but if you make a mistake that you have too many recruits, you've trained all the recruits you need at the moment, maybe you just want to remove a recruit from here, all you have to do is just left click on this first and then right click to get him out. Because if you don't left click first and you do this, then he's just gonna go right back in. So in order for him to find a new house like the tower, or if you want to move recruits from one barracks to another, it's just with a right click you remove 1 at a time, okay? It's not like you can move 10. I was thinking to move 10 at a time or something, or make it an option, but I think this should be not used to that extent. This should only be used on occasion, and with other houses, you have one click and you move out one unit, one occupant. So I was thinking that that should be good for right now. Third thing I did was a bug fix to the load option for the storehouse. I got my first and only bug report so far since the previous release. Someone used this and it caused the replay to break or the save to crash, one or the other, and I'm pretty sure I know what I did wrong. It was the only mistake like this I made with adding new commands. All these commands from troops or from buildings, they all have to be done a certain way, and this is the one exception where I didn't do it that way, and I don't know why. Even this one, that it has a save option for the barracks and market distribution of wares, even this one I did correctly. Sorry about that, but I think it's fixed now. For food, which is just a sum of the 4 food types. That's all it is. But in the vanilla right now, it's different. It's not just the quantity, which it should be. It is the quantity times health restore percentage they give to villagers when villagers eat them. Sausages restore 60% health, bread 40%, fish 50%, and wine 30%. So in the vanilla, it's the total number of each of these multiplied by this decimal instead of the actual quantity, which is important. Some maps are just to produce enough food, and you have to maintain a certain amount of food, otherwise you get attacks and so forth. So I thought it was pretty important to show the actual number. I was going to apply those percentages to GDP, but KaM said that GDP is strictly, by definition, the quantity multiplied by the market price. So I said, okay, I'll leave it as is. Alright, so that's it. It was just a few changes. I wasn't really planning on an update, but I decided to modify the game stats menu, and in the meantime, I got a request by someone who you all heard a lot about in the previous video, that maybe we should be allowed to remove recruits. Seems reasonable. You're allowed to remove weapons from the barracks, so why not recruits? And you can remove house occupants from other houses, so why not recruits from the barracks? And it always bothered me that I had to squinch my eyes to try to guess what these numbers are. To see something like this is pretty neat. Before, you would have to press F11 and export data and then game statistics. Then it's going to give you a .csv file, and then you can view your statistics that way. Unless you want to, for some reason, want to export it to Microsoft Excel and do something with it, then sure. But for most people, I think that something like this would be better to see, because of course you can go to the specific time you want and so forth. And again, this is only for resources. This is not for economy, army, or this really has nothing. I already added in citizens dismissed and buildings demolished in this menu. But I'm talking about in the army and in economy, you have 2 choices, houses and citizens. When you hover over these, no numbers are going to come up. Maybe in the future I can add these in. I'm sure it'll be useful to know the exact number, and of course add this to this menu too, if it's requested enough or I want to do it myself. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoy the mod update. I'll provide a download link to it in the video description, as well as the user manual, of course. Have a nice day.